Since starting this channel, people are often getting in touch in the comments to ask about one thing: rhythm. How can you make your playing more interesting rhythmically? It can be so easy to fall into the trap of playing the same rhythm all the way through a song. While the chords or the melody might be really interesting, it's the rhythm we're playing that actually gives the song its drive and energy. So in this video, we're going to look at one chord progression, and I'm going to take you step by step through 5 different levels of rhythm that you can play over that same sequence. Let's dive in. Hello, welcome back to the Keys Coach YouTube channel. My name's Adam, and in this video, we're going to look at rhythm. Now, rhythm can sometimes get a little bit overlooked as piano players. We spend so much of our time trying to get our chords more complex, our melodies more complex, but actually so much of a song, the groove, the energy, the feel, the drive, it all comes from the rhythm. So before we can jump into any of the rhythms we're going to be playing, we do need to just get this chord sequence under our fingers. So I'll just show you what the sequence sounds like. So that's the sequence we're going to be using. We're in the key of D, which has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. I'll just quickly take you through each of those chords, but I'm going to go quite quick because I want to focus on the rhythm today rather than the harmony. So that chord is a D major 9. We got the root here, the 7th, the 9th, the 3rd and the 5th in our right hand. That's the first chord. Then we go to a B minor 9. We've got a B in our left hand here. And then we've got the 7th, the 9th, the 3rd, and the 5th. Then we've got an E minor 11, an E in our left hand, with that shape. This is like a little cluster shape. We've got a 3rd, 11th, 5th, and 7th. And then we move on to G major 9, with a G in our left hand, and then the 9th, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th. And then there's one little voicing at the end, which is that G over A, that 4 over 5 shape that we've looked at before. Going back, the 1. So the first level we're going to look at, level 1, is to play everything on the beat. Okay, now you might be thinking to yourself, that doesn't sound very interesting. I kind of feel like I can already do that. Well, think about it. Can you? Can you play it so it's so precisely landing right on the beat? Now I've put together this backing track. Let me just show you what this sounds like. I'm going to play that same sequence, but I'm going to play every chord bang on the beginning of the bar. That is much harder than it looks. It's so easy to play a chord a little bit early, a little bit late. This is all about locking in. Professional musicians call this playing in the pocket, playing in the groove. And to be honest, if you can't play a chord bang on the beat, then you're going to find it really hard to do any kind of syncopation. So really focus on this and don't skip this step of the process because it's so important. I'm going to have one more go at doing that just to make sure I'm right on the beat there. Yeah, that is definitely harder than it looks. So yeah, don't skip that step of the process. Now, I'm well aware there's lots of stuff I'm covering here and it can be a lot to take in. So I've put together a free PDF lesson book, which you can download by clicking the link in the description. It contains notation for everything I've covered in this video. It also includes the backing track I'm using. So it should all be there to help you get this into your playing. The link is in the video description. Go ahead and grab your copy. Okay, level 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to push some of the chords. Now what that means is that some of the chords are going to come earlier than when we played everything on the beat. So if you're going to push any of the chords, you need to be really locked into what we call the subdivision. Now I'm just going to play this track and I'm going to show you how you can subdivide that bar. So I'm going to start off with quarter notes, also known as crotchets if you're in the UK. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything's on the beat, just like we did in the last example. Okay, here's quavers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is also known as eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. This is 16th notes, also known as semiquavers. I'll do this one again. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Hear how that's in the track as well. So we're going to push some of the chords in our sequence by a 16th note. So we're going to start on the beat, and then we're going to push the B minor. Okay, that's the first one we're going to push. Then our E minor is going to be on the beat, but then we're also going to push the G. Okay, so we're pushing the B and the G in our sequence. Now, let me give you an idea of how this sounds. So we're going to start on the beat. Now we're going to push. On the beat. Now let's push. Push. On the beat. Push. So I guess the question is, how am I feeling that push? And when we talk about rhythm in music, we so often talk about feeling, and it's so important because it is a feeling. It's like a physical reaction to the groove. I've got this thing going through my head, and there is that push. A really amazing educator that I work with a lot called Pete Churchill has this thing. He taught me this. It's called back at the bat.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Just say, like, bear with me. Just say that, back at the bat. So if I do that with the groove, right, I'll play the groove along. Back at the bat. Back at the bat. Back at the bat. Back at the bat. Just bear with me, like, what on earth is this? What you need to do is you now need to take out the backada, right? Once you've got that really secure and you can go through that whole track, see if you can now take out the backada. Let me try that. And you're just going to say the bap. 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 So that is a really simple way you can feel that 16th note subdivision. Now let me just show you how this relates back to the keys. Back at the back. Back at the back. Back at the back. Back at the back. So level 3, now we're really feeling that 16th note. Let's see if we can develop our left hand. So we're going to use octaves for this, and octaves sound really great in the left hand, particularly when you alternate them. Lots of gospel piano players and funk piano players use this. It's a really useful technique. So check out this bass line. And then we're going to go to the B, then an E, then to the G. I'll do that again. To the B, then to the E, then to the G. And I'm just alternating between my little finger and my thumb. Now just to make it a little bit more interesting, we're going to have a couple of passing notes between some of the chords. So watch this, we're going to start on the D, then we're going to go up chromatically. See that? I'll do that again. And then we're going to have this little passing line. See that? Going to the E. I'll play you the whole line all the way through. That's it. That's the line we're going to play in our left hand. So I'm just going to have a go at playing that with the backing track. It can be really useful to separate the hands out just to make sure that each part is really, really secure. Now let's have a go at adding in our right hand. Now we're not going to do any pushes on our right hand anymore. We're going to go back to just playing everything on the beat. There is enough syncopation happening in our left hand for us not to worry about doing anything in our right hand. So let's put the right hand on the beat and we're going to play that bass line in our left. And if you're wondering what I'm doing with my fingers there, occasionally I'm doing what we call a little finger under. So watch this. Do you see that? So I go 5, 4, 5. It's just a little way. It's a bit awkward. It's just a little way that you can kind of slide your little finger underneath so you can get that octave. So have a go at playing that bass line and just getting it really, really secure. Sometimes as piano players, you have to get things on what we call automatic. So try and get that bass line on automatic. You can just play it without even thinking about it and your hand automatically goes to where it needs to be. Okay, level 4. Let's vary up our right hand part. What we're going to do is we're going to use different triads for this and we're going to use a mixture of different rhythms as well. So let me just show you what it sounds like. So what am I doing there? Well, I'm varying up the triads in my right hand and I'm using a little interesting rhythm to do that. I actually call this, weirdly, the Grange Hill. Now, that is an unbelievably niche reference that a lot of you might not get. But back in sort of the 90s and early 2000s, there was a program on TV called Grange Hill. It was like this program that would... it's a bit of a theme, isn't there? A lot of my sort of musical references come from TV themes. Anyway, there was a program called Grange Hill, and the theme tune used 2 triads. Have a listen. So that's in the key of C, and they're just using a C triad, and they're using a G triad, and they're using the same rhythm over all the chords. It's a really, really amazing technique, and Michael McDonald does this a lot. Loads of people use this technique, and it's a really good way of gelling chords together because the same thing is going over the top while the chords underneath are changing. So let me just show you what we're going to do here in our sequence. So we're in the key of D, and we're going to use a D triad and then an A triad. That's a D triad because it's in second inversion. You see that? So here's the rhythm we're going to use. I'll do that again. 2, 3, 4. You see it actually comes in on the last 16th note, so I could go back a dub. Do it once more. Now we're going to add in a little bit at the end. We're going to go 2, 3, 4. See that? It's quite hard to click at the same time, but yeah, I'll do it once more. 2, 3, 4. And we're going to try that all the way over the sequence. Let me just show you what that would look like. I'll just show you that bit I was doing at the end. At the end it goes... I'll do it once more. So let's have a go at playing that with the backing track. Now you might need to spend a bit of time just getting those shapes really clear under your fingers. But let me just show you what it sounds like when you put it with the track. Another way to develop that, kind of following on, is just to hold down one note in your left hand at the top. So watch this. See that? I'm just holding down that top note in my thumb. I'll show you what that sounds like with the track. You can hear how just having that note at the top means that there's something sustained throughout the groove. Yeah, try that out. So level 5, this is getting quite advanced now. We're going to do some interplay between the hands. Now, interplay is where one hand punctuates the other, or kind of answers what the other one is saying. It plays in the gaps. Now, I've had to do quite a bit of practice to get this together. But let me just show you the pattern we're going to learn. So there, my left hand is just going. And my right hand is doing that repeated pattern. The Grange Hill, or whatever you want to call it. If you put them together really slowly, you can see that they're playing in the gaps of each other. Watch this. Can you see? It's just a way, they're kind of punctuating each other and complementing each other. And it's like Stevie Wonder does lots of this, Michael McDonald, all those different piano players. It's almost like they're having a little bit of a conversation with each other. Now, I'm aware there's a lot to take in over all of that. But if you are someone who wants to take this even further, one of the things you can do is vary up your right hand even more. So rather than playing the repeated pattern all the way through, you vary it up, use different inversions, different rhythms. Let me give you a blast of what that sounds like. So it may have seemed quite complex what I was doing there, but all I was doing was varying up the inversions in my right hand. So rather than playing, I was also going and that one as well. So that kind of varies the sound, but I was also varying up the rhythm as well. And in order to be able to be quite free with it, you need to have that original pattern so secure under your fingers. It needs to be on automatic, because it's only when you've got it really down that you can then begin to improvise and move away from it. One of the things you can do if you want to practice this is try playing the pattern in one section, then improvising, and then going back to the pattern. Let me just show you what that sounds like. So let's start with the pattern. Improvise. Back to the pattern. Improvise. Back to the pattern. So you can see all I'm doing there is I'm starting off with the pattern and then I'm moving away from it a bit and then I'm coming back to it. And I think if you can work on that kind of level of control, that's really going to take your playing to the next level. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you got something out of it. Can I just say before we stop, thank you so much for watching these videos. I only started uploading these tutorials a few months ago, but this week I hit 5,000 subscribers on this channel. Super, super exciting. I got there way faster than I thought I was going to get there. So thank you for watching them. Thank you for liking the video, commenting on the video, sending me messages. It means a huge amount, and I'm just so glad you're getting a lot of value out of this channel. Do remember to go and grab your free PDF lesson book. It contains everything that I've covered in this lesson, along with the backing tracks as well, so you can practice all of this stuff at home. The link's in the video description. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.